they are doing it all.
Cooking, cleaning, washing, ironing, despite holding down their jobs as well.
Parenting expert Liz Fraser knows from first-hand experience how hard it is for working mothers.
But journalist Bibi Lynch says that she is sick of hearing mums moaning about their lot. She can't have kids and she thinks that mums don't know how lucky they are.
So who do you agree with? You can get involved in this debate by telling us your opinions via our on-screen worm. Just go to our website, itv.com/thismorning, and tell us exactly what you think. Ladies, welcome.
Hi.
Two very different opinions, obviously. Liz, let's start with you. I'm obviously a working mum, as you are, and agree with you to some extent that it is tough.
Yeah, it is certainly tough. I mean, the first thing to say is that for anybody who doesn't have children and desperately wants children and tries for years and years to have children, to hear anybody who has children, who has the thing that they want more than anything and can't have, it is phenomenally grating and hard and very devastating. Exactly. Yeah. Anything that you want that you can't have becomes the thing you fixate on most of all. But in life, there's always something that we want to have that we don't have, and we always think the grass is green on the other side, OK? And that the point, I think, to make about having children is that it's unthanked largely. I mean, mum's sitting at home, dad's sitting at home watching this, know what it's like. You work so hard, nobody pays you, nobody thanks you. You get moaning and whinging and whining and complaining. I took 10 years out of my career to largely raise my 3 children who are now, you know, older children.
A lot of people can't do that, though.
A lot of people can't do that, and so what that meant for me is that I'm now hitting 40. I'm way down the career ladder compared with my partner, who's gradually worked his way up. And so what I tend to do, and a lot of mothers, let's say mothers in this context, obviously there are a lot of stay-at-home dads, is I feel bitter about him. And I sort of say occasionally, I moan and say, oh, well, it's all right for you going on the commuter train and having Christmas dinners and work dues, and blah. I don't get that. So we will always moan about our lot, whatever our lot is. That's a natural thing to do, and so I think it's fine for mothers to moan because we're exhausted and knackered, but not too much.
Let's give Bibi a turn.
I'm just watching Bibi look at you as she said that. You maybe have a slightly different opinion.
I have a different opinion because I think the grass is greener aspect is kind of fair enough in many aspects in life, not when it's a fundamental one, which is having a child. And if you don't have one, I think it's a little bit, it's too sweeping to dismiss it in that way. I don't think that covers it.
No, why do you not have kids? Is that choice, Bibi,
no,
or circumstance?
I never, this sounds old-fashioned, but I never felt like I met the right person to have children with, and now I'm too old to have children, so it's as simple as that. It's an age factor, which actually is generationally is happening to many, many women, I think.
It is, because I think, as Liz just touched on, you put your career on hold, whereas a lot of women now are putting their career before anything else. But you know what?
I would have put my career completely on hold to have had a child, because I think when you get to a stage, well, because that's where I'm at, and I now know what it's like, and I now know it's not going to happen. I know what I'm missing out on.
Yeah, so but then you can't. I think it's very hard to come down on people who have done what I've done, and you know, Mr. Right. There is no Mr. Right. You know, I met a guy, we had a child together. Now. Yeah, exactly. So I could easily have not done that and carried on and worked my way up my career. Now, been in a place where I could financially support myself and be independent. I'm not in that position. I depend entirely on my husband to keep me in my house and fed and all that, and it's not a nice position to be in, actually, if you weren't prepared for that.
I think that position compared to the position I'm in, lots of women like me in, is preferable, because my point, I wrote a feature about this, and the feature, the point of it was all the problems that I hear mums talking about, and I'm going to say complain rather than moan, because moan's a bit too contentious, are finite, and I think are surmountable.
Like
and
what?
I think,
sorry, like what?
Well, when mums say they don't have enough sleep, there's not enough money, they're exhausted, their husband's not helping enough. And they're true, and I know that's horrible, and I'd hate to be in that situation. But I think the worst situation is... My problem with this, and lots of people in my situation, lots of women and men, actually, who haven't had children, wanted them, that's forever. That's something we have to deal with forever. And so my issue is... It's not an issue. My problem... OK, yes, go with issue. My issue is that I...
my problem, my complaint, my issue. You're trying to be nice,
I'm trying to be nice. I am trying to be nice. Is that I do think the problems are surmountable, and I think as well, with these surveys... and there was a feature, the survey we're talking about, that was in the Mail. Yeah. We often hear how hard it is for mothers, and I don't doubt it.
We've got some of the stats from that. So 70% say that they still do the cooking and cleaning. 80% say that they have to do the washing and ironing.
This is not who work. This is women who already work.
77% say they're left to manage the household finances. 83% say that having, you know, more help from their partners would make life easier.
It
seems to me to be legitimate gripes, really.
And I think that's the thing,
but of now, they're gripes that are now, and they're gripes that can be sorted. You know, if there's 82% of people not having help with their housework, then get your husband to do something. That's not a life or death decision. That's not something that's going to kill you for the rest of your life.
Mums are moaning about their children or having children. It's about the life everything else that is around
you
it.
only complain about something, I think. I think if you feel that you're not valued and you're not listened to, and the work. I mean, I've written 3 books about this. I've talked to hundreds of mothers in all different ages and different situations, and the word which comes back time and time again is undervalued. And you just have to walk into any shop as a mum with a buggy and a toddler and a baby, and you feel everyone going, oh God, here she comes. We do feel a little bit like the bane of society.
But it's so interesting you say that, because I see it as a completely different...
I'm sure you do,
because I see that I've been asked to get off a bus so a mother could get on with her child. I forgot the word for a child then, child. Now, I shouldn't have to. That shouldn't have to happen to me. I feel that mums are very valued in society, and I think
we don't feel it though. We don't feel it, and that's the question: why?
But I think it goes back to the grass is always greener thing. You know, you think that mothers are really.
But I think grass is greener, and I get that expression. But I think you can say that about if someone's got the shoes that you want, you've got these shoes. The grass is greener. If someone got the car you want, you've got that car. The grass is greener.
Is a child,
when it's a child.
Do you think, Bibi, that you made the wrong choice? If you had to do things again, would you have a child without maybe meeting Mr. Right? Or do you think we're giving the wrong advice out there in the media that it's okay for women to wait and you can have both?
Well, interestingly, that survey was talking about the whole have-it-all generation, and a lot of the problems were women saying that they feel the pressure to be the perfect mother, the perfect wife, have the perfect job, keep the perfect house, blah blah blah. So the have-it-all has done them wrong. I think the have-it-all generation theory has done women like me wrong as well, because we thought we would have it all in terms of relationships, so we looked out for the perfect person, and as you say,
there isn't one.
Doesn't exist. So I think the have-it-all umbrella has kind of messed up a lot of lives. So I would have done it completely differently.
How long have you been desperate to have children?
I really wanted, I suppose from late 30s I wanted a child, and then kept putting my head in that sand of, well, you know, it happens later, because again you read that and that's not necessarily true.
I know, but I think that the biggest thing that we know is that having children is extremely difficult, even early 30s. I have many friends that have found it so hard. And being an educated woman, you must have known that the older you get, the more difficult
I knew
it's
that. I knew the graph goes like that.
Yeah.
But I also knew that I'd hear that, you know, Marcia Cross had twins when she was 43. Blah 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 blah. What I didn't hear was there was egg washing going on in LA. It was IVF. You know, most of the later pregnancies you hear about are IVF. You don't hear that.
Options.
But you put your head in the sand and you think, I will wait. You know. There's their stat. The stat that might work for me is that stat, and you go for that. And it was only when I'm 46 now, when I kind of knew that IVF wouldn't happen on NHS for me, and then looked into it, put my head in the sand, and then got brave, had the test, and too old.
OK, let's have a little look at what you guys at home are actually thinking about this, following the debate. Here it is. Who do you agree with? It's actually a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. 61% agree with Liz, and 39% agree with Bibi. I thought that was going to be much more in favour of mums.
Yeah, I mean, I just think one of the really interesting things that's happened is that obviously biologically women have to be the ones to bear the children. So we are sold actually from very young. I mean, I've sold this picture to my children. You read them stories about, you know, the mummy and the daddy and the children, isn't it lovely? So you kind of grow up with this. Yeah. And also, by the way, for a woman to say, I really find my children difficult, I find being a mum really difficult, is quite hard, because people come down very hard on you and say, well, you're a woman, you should love doing this. It is really exhausting, it's relentless. We feel guilty, because what's happened is...
But the most rewarding thing at the same time.
It is the most... Of course it is, and again, as a woman, you can't say that it's not. You have to say that it is,
because
and it is wonderful, because you're frowned upon. And my daughter is actually standing right across over there, because she's on school holiday, and she's come with me, and I'm very frank with my children about how difficult it is to have a family and all of that. But what's happened is we're now doing the family and the job and the housework and all of that, and women
it's one that could run and run, guys. Well. This one could completely run.
Can I ask one very quick question? What about adoption? Because there are lots of people out there that will be saying this.
I think what happens, I think you have to kind of, I think emotionally a door has to shut before you go to the next one, so I'm getting my head around, you know...
So you're still open to that?
Yeah, definitely.
OK, good.
Definitely.
OK, good.
All right. Well, I hope it works out for you. That's the last thing I do. I would love that more than anything.
Stop moaning.
But I will continue to moan. I'll
keep moaning then.
And I will be with you.
OK, still to come.